I think people are naturally, or humans in general, we're quite naturally curious about the world. We like learning, we like exploring and traveling to new places, trying new food. And for some people, as they get older, they become more boxed into their ways of thinking and they're less likely to explore new things. So I think it's important to keep that childlike curiosity that we had when we were children. When we were children, we were so vulnerable to new concepts and ideas, and we just learned every day, whether it was language, social dynamics, different animals, going to the zoo, reading books, trying new foods. And as we age, some people can get quite stuck in their ways and not want to be as open-minded and curious about the world because maybe they think they know it all, or maybe they just don't want to be uncomfortable and stretch their minds too far. And I think for me personally, I still have my childlike curiosity that I've had since I was a child. And that's led me to really be able to express my interests, especially on this YouTube channel, where what I talk about is quite diverse. It's not just about creativity and rap and music, but I'm able to touch on different things that I've been interested in the past, different books that I've read, places that I've traveled. So it's just an accumulation of different interests that I'm able to touch on, and it actually brings me to life to talk about these subjects as well. So that's kind of my philosophy, I guess, around my YouTube channel, is that I just touch on things that intrigue me and that I find interesting. And I know if I find it interesting, then someone else is going to find it interesting as well. And even with my music, I started making beats when I was 21, and then I didn't really follow through with making beats, but it actually led me on the journey of writing lyrics and rapping, and just being curious in those earlier years to be like, what would it be like if I was to start rapping? What would my music sound like? And is it even possible for me to do it? Just those questions that I asked myself and where my imagination went led me to where I am now, where I've got, a whole project out. I've got singles out, music videos out. I've been featured on other people's tracks, and I've just made so many connections. And that all started from just being curious about if I could even make music on my own and do it for myself. And even till this day, I still hold that curiosity, and my imagination just stretches so far about the future and what's possible, what I could do. And I guess I practice that every day, with working my imagination, reading books, having conversations with people, continuously just learning and evolving and becoming a more interesting person by doing interesting things that I'm interested in. I think doing things that you're curious about, it actually helps you learn better and flow better in whatever activity you're doing. Think about Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple. He did courses in his early years, and he was going to a Hare Krishna temple as well and learning philosophy from that and spirituality. And then he learned calligraphy, did a calligraphy course, and all those ideas and concepts tied together, and his fascination for technology and all that kind of stuff, which made the Apple product what it is today. And being able to study things that you enjoy, learning new things, and being open-minded to the world will all tie together into something great for you, because what you're interested in is unique to everybody else, and the way that you connect those interests is going to be unique to everyone else. So as an artist, I think if you want to create a unique piece of work, I think it's important to tap into your interests, your curiosity, and connect all those things together, and then make a really unique product that only you can make on this earth. So as I said, you're able to learn better because learning things that you're intrigued about and that you enjoy, it brings you positive emotion, and it brings you to a higher vibration mentally, where you can digest that information better, and you're not bored, or you're not feeling sad that you're forced to go and study something that you don't really want to study. And so being in a higher vibration and being positive about it you're just more open-minded to all the information, and you're able to hold on to the information much better long term and flow better as well. To get in a state of flow, if you're doing something that you love doing, or if you're learning something that you love or that you're intrigued about, you're in the moment, you're present. But if you were to do something that you found boring or you just weren't interested in, you wouldn't want to be there, and your mind will start drifting somewhere else. So it actually brings you to a better state of flow by doing things that you're intrigued about, reading things that interest you. So I haven't traveled in about 4 years since COVID-19 hit the world. But before that, I was on a spree of just traveling around the world and going to different places, being curious about the different cultures, especially places like India and Nepal and different parts of Asia. Picking up books from different places that were about spirituality and different philosophies. I was probably in my early 20s, so everything was still very fresh to my mind. That was a really important time for me to be curious and to be open-minded to the world and learn as much as possible. That was kind of my intention with the travels, was to find out what's going on really and find the secrets to the world. And that still continues to this day. I'm still picking up nuggets and gems and being curious every single day from the moment that I wake up. But all those ideas and concepts and lessons that I learned, they gave me new ideas, new words that I never heard, and I'm able to tie all that together. And if it comes to lyric writing, I can write lines that come from spirituality, different concepts, whether it's like tying nature, different processes of nature, and putting that into a lyric, because then there's a underlying truth within the lyric and it makes the lyric interesting to people. Or maybe it's the concepts of philosophy and emotion and empathy. And in my photography, I'm able to express empathy and different emotions within photography through my travels or taking photos of people. So that's how that's all tied together for me in the last couple of years. And I was talking to my homie last night, and we were just talking about the travels that we did. And I was just saying that everything's kind of accumulated to this point where everything's coming to fruition, and all the interesting things that we were doing back then and the books that we were reading, conversations that we had, has led us to this point where we're expressing at such a high level, high quality, whether it's art, music, conversations, teachings, that we're able to tie all these things together and express it at such a high level. And that comes from being curious in our younger years. So how can artists take advantage of being curious? Well, I think, first you could just be intentional with your curiosity and just be open-minded to learning every day, having conversations with people that you usually wouldn't, go into places that you usually wouldn't go, and just being observant, listening, being present, taking photos of things that are interesting to you, going to places that are interesting. Maybe it's a country that you've always wanted to go to. Go to that place and take your camera, take your notepad and your pen, get ideas, be present with the place and put it into your work. Whether it's the language, the cadence of the language, the vibration of the area that you're going to, the artwork that comes from that place, it could inspire you, and a whole new revolution of art could come from those moments where you're going to a new place and you're bringing your unique talents, and then you're combining them with the new place that you're at. Taking classes that interest you, I think that's a really good idea. There's short courses on the internet, there's master classes that you pay for, there's even tutorials on YouTube that are for free. And so just constantly studying things that you're interested in can always add a different element to what you're mainly doing. So like if you're mainly just illustrator and all you do is draw, doing a short course in photography and understanding some different elements, whether it's composition, whether it's framing, and it's some different concepts when it comes to photography, you could add that into your drawing. And you could just do a short course, just out of interest, So I think doing some short courses, or even just going back to university and studying something that you're interested in is always a great idea too. But it's also, for me, it's always been a thing to be mindful about the amount of money that you give to those universities. So, but always, just do things that you're interested in and do it in the most efficient way possible. Experimenting with different sounds. If you're a producer, having the ear and having the will to go out of your comfort zone and listen to things that you've never heard before, and maybe sampling something from a whole different country, maybe taking your phone out to the mountains or to the beach and just recording the birds, recording the sound of cars, recording the wind, just being creative and experimenting and curious about doing new things to bring a new sound. And like I said before, going to places that interest you so you can bring that high vibration of positivity because you're interested in that subject, and bring it and pull it back into your art. I think that's a great thing that some producers and even rappers and singers can do, is just do what you're interested in and be inspired by those things and pull it into your art. So yeah, be curious, combine your interests, combine all the different things that intrigue you, and combine all the different things you enjoy. If you enjoy watching anime and you like listening to Amy Winehouse and you also like gardening, figure out how you could put all those three things into one and make it a new product or a new piece of art for yourself, So keep an open mind, make something unique, because the world needs something unique. There's nothing ever original. We're just inspired by different things in this world. And by combining different elements that you're uniquely interested about, you can make something unique for sure. And tap in with yourself, bring back that childlike mentality of just wanting to learn and be curious and doing things that you enjoy just for the sake of it, So that was the video for today. I hope it was inspiring, and curiosity is just a tool, just like there's many other tools within creativity that we can use, and this was just one of those that I wanted to touch on today and kind of connect my ideas and talk about some things that I was curious about, whether it was like traveling and books, reading, spirituality, and some different lessons that I learned, just tying those together and making something unique. And this video in itself is something unique for me and for the world, because I'm combining all those things I'm curious about. And so yeah, there it is. Peace.